cross is a stronger punch than the jab. Because of my stance and the way my weight is distributed, it will allow me to generate more power in the punch from the rotation in my legs and hips. I can also reach further with this punch because of the way my body is positioned in my MMA stance. The idea is to connect with my opponent's face, then keep following through the target for maximum damage. I'm back in my MMA stance. My hands are high, elbows tucked into my body, chin into my chest. When I throw my right cross, there is no need for my left hand to move. That stays in position to keep myself protected. To put more power into my punch, I start by putting more weight onto my back leg, as I throw my punch forward and my knuckles turn over. I also distribute the weight through my legs and hips onto my front leg. I do this by turning on the ball of my foot, driving into the ground and rotating my hips towards my opponent. Once again, I make sure my hand doesn't drag back away from my face. My punch goes forward, my knuckles turn over, and my shoulder protects my jawline on my right side. My right shoulder will rotate for protection and extra power. If I do this technique correctly, it will not be easy for my opponent to land a clean strike on me. My chin will be tucked down and my face and body will be protected because of the way I position my hands and arms. After the punch has landed, my arm must follow the same line backwards that it went out on to come back to my starting position. I will instantly return to my MMA stance. From here I can throw another strike, defend, move, or look to take my opponent down depending on the situation. Remember, the way I get more power into my punch is by perfecting the transfer of weight between my legs. Before I punch, I have more weight on my back leg, and when the punch finishes, the weight is transferred to my front leg. Once again, when we throw this punch, we need to make sure our elbows are not flaring out. This will lose power, expose my body, and make it easy for my opponent to see what is coming. The idea of these strikes is to stay as efficient as possible. I want to put maximum power into it by using the weight from my legs and hips. I want to stay safe and protected by keeping my hands high and ensuring that my chin and body stay protected at all times. I want to make it hard for my opponent to see what I am going to throw by staying tight and not swinging my arms widely. Finally, I want to immediately return to my MMA stance where I am comfortable and prepared. Start off practicing the cross into the air, driving weight through the ball of the right foot. When you are comfortable with this technique and believe that you are remembering all of the key points mentioned, you can practice getting more power into the strike by hitting a punch bag or having a friend hold a focus pad for you. Another way to practice improving this technique is by adding movement. Imagine that your opponent is further away from you and you have to take a small step to close the distance while throwing the cross.